Hello and welcome to another video from Apex and Chill Racing League. This week we've got a bit of a different video that we're going to put on for you this week. This week we are basically giving you a starting guide on how to set up your PC for streaming in 2026. A lot of PC users that are first-time PC users, it's complicated, right? You know, you've got Steam running, you've got Discord running, you want to stream to multiple different platforms, you want to make it as simple as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a rundown of how to do it, how to get all of the systems on there, how to put your skins on there, and we're going to give you a really basic how-to guide of how to do it. All of the tools that I'll be using in this stream for OBS and for StreamElements, they're all going to be down in the description box on the YouTube description below. So please feel free to click on the links, download them, and I will also create a guide that I will add into the YouTube description as well, that you can basically follow instead of following through on the video if you so wish. But hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a very good understanding of how you can capture games in stream, how you can connect your Discord audio to the stream, and how you can have, like, you're starting soon, you're finishing, be right back kind of screens and everything, and enable your webcam and your microphone and everything like that on there. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do when you are ready to get started is you want to download OBS Studio. There is other platforms available, but OBS Studio seems to be the less resource intensive on your PC, so especially if you are running a lower end setup, OBS Studio is the one that I'd probably suggest. Like I said, there is others available, but for today we're going to show you how to do OBS Studio. So you go onto the website and you click on the Windows. If you are obviously on Mac, you click the Mac, and if you're on Windows, click the Windows option. And then we simply wait for that to download.
A few minutes later.
So once it's downloaded, you'll see that you have the download the download file at the top. Just simply click on that, and that will then load up a installer window, which you can see here. So welcome to OBS Studio 32.1.2, and simply just keep on clicking the next button now until you get to this screen, and then it will say destination folder. So where are you wanting to install this file? And again, it just presets the best place for it, so just go ahead and click install. Okay, so you can see now we have completed the setup. So you literally just click on OK, it installs it, and then it gives you an option then of opening OBS. So you just want to click on Launch OBS, and you can see now when we first open OBS, you'll see that we have this auto configuration wizard that appears, and you can obviously decide then what option you want to go with. If you are wanting to record your streams, then you can do, but again, bear in mind that when you are doing that, it will again use up more resources on your PC. So I would just optimize for streaming and say recording is secondary. But likewise, if you're wanting to record podcasts, that kind of thing, and you're not live streaming, then again you can just simply select the second option. But for this one, we're going to go for optimize for streaming because recording is secondary. Then you need to specify your video settings. So these are the settings that you would like to stream in. Now again, with this purely depends on the screen size that you have. So for example, with me, I have two monitors. So I have a monitor that runs in 4K, so that runs at the 2560 by 1440, or I've got my normal 1080p screen, which is what I'm using here to do the setup wizard on, and you can see there it says display 2 is 1920 by 1080. So we're going to click on display 2 because that is the screen that I am currently doing this recording in. And you can click on that and it will then put your base canvas down as display 2. and then you can then select your frames per second. So you can either have it where it will select either 60 or 30 but prefer 60 when possible, or either 60 or 30 but prefer higher resolution, or you can fix it to an FPS that you prefer. Now I'll be honest, I do just pre-select on mine 60 FPS because that is the best quality to have on there, and it is definitely the best option to have on there. So when you've clicked on those two, just click on the next button there. Next, it will ask you to link your stream information. So on here, you can either link it directly to your Twitch, you can link it directly to your YouTube. Now for this at the moment, I'm just going to connect it to my YouTube account, and you can click on the connect account recommended, and that will then load up another window in which you can then select your Google account that is linked to your YouTube account. So I'm just doing that now, and then it's now successfully connected, and you can see there it's now connected to our YouTube channel, and I can click next, and now it is just running a quick check in the background and to see how my internet settings are and my connection settings are, to make sure that everything is going to be a-okay. Okay, so we can now see that it has run the test on my system. So we can see that we've got a video bit rate available of 10,000, which is more than enough for YouTube, and it has picked up my graphics card, so what it is that's going to be encoding. So it does a lot of it for you, right? So then once you've done that, you can click on Apply Settings, and then once that has done, you will then have your OBS window. So right now, you have a blank canvas, okay? You can see that we have a couple of different sections in this screen. So we have a section there for scenes, for sources, and then our audio mixer. And you can see now as I'm talking into the mic is picking up my voice, and any desktop audio that was playing in the background would also appear here. So right now we have a blank canvas, and this is what we're now working with. So once you've got your blank canvas, what I would strongly recommend you do next is you go to a website called StreamElements. StreamElements is a great free website that you can use, and it adds some very good functionality to OBS, and it also allows you to download free themes and free skins, shall we say, that are great. So when you go to StreamElements, this is the page that you're greeted with, and again you can simply log in with your YouTube account or your Twitch account, and again whatever you find is easiest for yourself. So in this instance, I'm going to log in with my YouTube account. And you can see here now we are in, this is my hub, the place where I can see all of my recent YouTube views, subscribers, and everything like that. So and what you can do from here is you can then link all of your other streaming accounts to this as well, and this will become very important later on down the line when we talk about multi-streaming on OBS. So you can see here I can click on my icon at the top, and I can click on the Apex and Chill section, and I can go into channel settings, and this is where you basically would go down and you would link all of your channels. So if you've got a Twitch account, a YouTube account, a Kick account, you can basically link all of these into this one system, and then we will explain why we're going to do that shortly. The other thing that I would recommend on doing is I would also recommend on clicking on your icon at the top and clicking on the download SE.Live, and what you're going to do is you're going to click on download SE.Live for Windows, and that again will just install this OBS StreamElements setup over there in the top right hand corner. And I'm now just going to open this. You can see here you're about to set up your OBS Studio with a StreamElements add-on, and this is where the multi-streaming part of it all comes into play. So again, you're going to do the exact same as what you've just previously done, and you can see it's going to install SE.Live in the OBS Studio folder, which is brilliant. We don't need to install OBS Studio because we've already installed that, and we're going to click on next there, and now that is going to load StreamElements Live in OBS. Because I've got OBS open in the background, it's recognised that and it says we need to close that, so you just close programs and resume the setup. Okay, so that's now finished installing, and we can now click on finish, and we'll click on we'll allow it to launch SE.Live, and we'll allow it to create a desktop shortcut as well. And then we'll click on run in normal mode for OBS, and you will now see that OBS has loaded, and you can see straight away it's telling us to link our StreamElements account into OBS. So we will click on connect with YouTube. That will then load up our login screen, which we can then click on, and there you go. So you can see here now it's going to take you into a setup guide. Okay, so you can see here it's now saying it's what we've done there is we've clicked on the new setup button. So click on the new setup button. We're going to select our microphone, and we're going to select our webcam, and we're going to click on next. We're going to select a display to capture. So what screen is it that you want to capture? So earlier on I said obviously I have my 1080 screen that I'm running the OBS on, and then I also have the 4K screen, which is what I have the game running on. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select my primary monitor, which is the 4K monitor, as the display that I want to capture, and this will all make sense to you shortly. Perfect. So you can now see in the sources section, we now have a camera, we now have a screen capture, and we now have a microphone option. And you can also see that if I go to my other screen, you can also see that we now have a screen capture happening, which is brilliant. The other things that StreamElements gives you is it gives you, and this is stuff that makes life a hell of a lot easier for you guys when you're streaming. It gives you an activity feed down the left-hand side. So when you're on stream and someone subscribes to your channel or follows you or gives you a new Prime membership or anything along those lines, it will come up in this window down here. So you can see there recent subscriptions, and that allows you to glance over while you're playing your game or doing whatever it is that you're doing. You can glance over and you can see, oh, so-and-so's just subscribed, and then you can give them a shout out on there. And then you can also see now we have our audio mixer, which has added another microphone, but don't worry about that too much because we can remove that later on down the line. And you can see now we've also got our camera source added there as well as the screen capture and the microphone. Now if I wanted to hide the screen capture for whatever reason, I just click the eye icon, and again in terms of the sources, if I wanted to remove the sources I can do, and you can see it removes it from the audio fixer there. Okay, and then down the right hand side you have your YouTube chat and your YouTube live control panel. So the YouTube chat will automatically load up when you are linked into your live stream video, and your control panel just requires you to log in, which I will do that now. Okay, so you can see here we have our control panel. Now what happens when you are logged in and when you have a stream scheduled in your YouTube studio, which I would recommend doing rather than trying to set up the stream as you go, if you preset it in the YouTube Studio, what you can then do is you can click on select stream, and the stream that you want to that you've scheduled will basically appear down here. And that's where you can see how many visitors you've got on the stream concurrently, so how many people at once are watching, but also how many you've got watching as a whole. Okay, and then you can also see down here the multi-streaming. So remember earlier on when I said don't forget to connect all of your StreamElements account, all of your streaming accounts to your StreamElements section. This is why. Because now what we can do is we can select all of the channels that we want to stream to, and it will just tell me now on my other screen to authorize, which you can obviously see on the screen capture there, and I can tick all of these, and then when I go to go live, when I start streaming and I click on the green button, what it will do is it will basically go live on all of those platforms automatically, so you can do everything in one place. So I can click on start streaming, and you can see it will say, you know, on your YouTube account, do you want to create a new broadcast, or do you want to use one that you've used previously or you've got scheduled? And if I was to click on that, it will then turn around and give me the title, what category it's at. So then all I have to do then in effect is I can take that title and I can go to Twitch and I can put the same title in there, and then I can search for the game that I'm streaming on. I'm just going to use Grand Theft Auto as an example for now, and I can put the title into Kick, and again I can change the game to whatever game that I want it to be. And then as soon as I click start streaming, that stream will then go live on all of those platforms at the exact same time, which is great. So that, as a whole, is how you download OBS onto your computer. That is how you set up your StreamElements account for multi-streaming, and that is how you get the bare basics set up. Okay. Now, if you didn't want any skins for, you know, stream starting soon or anything like that, then this is almost good enough to go live, although I wouldn't necessarily recommend it at this stage, because what people want is they want engagement. They want you as the creator to engage with that person, and that means that, you know, having the just talking screen, the stream starting soon screen makes all the difference. Okay, so what I'm going to show you next is how you get your themes from StreamElements onto OBS. So what we've done is we've gone back to StreamElements, okay, and you can see we're back in the hub where we were earlier on. Now if I go into Streaming Tools and I click on Overlays Gallery, what this will do is this will give me a full selection of free to use overlays that we can easily add into OBS and enable us to really, you know, make the stream look really good quality. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we're going to pick a theme, and then I'm going to show you how to put this into OBS. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're now going to select our theme. So you can see here we've gone for the Blue Moonstone animated super theme. So we're going to click on Create My Overlay. And then this will then say, grab the scene links and paste them into your SE.Live. You're going to disregard that for a second, and you're going to go to My Overlays. So you can see here all of the overlays that we've just created, that we've just selected are at the top here. We can ignore these because these are ones that we're not going to use. So what you want to do is you want to go on to Edit. And you can see now we have the animation happening of the screen. So you can see here now in the share screen in OBS that I've kind of got like this editor that's up. And what you can simply do is where it says Twitch and YouTube, Facebook, all of your social handles, you can go down the side here and you can basically select like the YouTube text, for example, I can edit that text so that it basically reads, you know, what I want it to read, and you can basically update it so that it's got your handles in there as well. And as you select the sections here, you can see that it will highlight that particular piece of text up on there so that you can edit it to how you want it to be. Okay. So when you've gone down, obviously I'm just going to use YouTube as an example. You can see here there's a section for YouTube. You're going to select YouTube. You're going to go down and click on settings, and then it says there message YouTube name. So I'm just going to put in there Apex and Chill Racing for our league, and you can go ahead and basically include all of the links that you have up there, and then down at the bottom it will list, you know, who your recent subscribers are, everything like that. Now, if you wanted to delete any of this, which you can do, say for example I wanted to delete some of this, I can just click on each section and simply click the delete button. So I can go down and I can delete all of these, because you don't want it to look too busy. And I did start off when I started streaming with all these different sections, but it just looked a bit cluttered, and I didn't like it. I actually figured in the end that actually less is more. All right, so you can go through and you can delete all of those. So then what you can do is you can save that, and you can click on the copy over overlay URL button at the top here. All right, now if I now go back to my OBS for a second, what you'll now see is that we can create scenes. So I can create a scene, which I did earlier, and let me remove that one. So I can create a scene here that says stream starting soon. And that now creates me a blank scene. So I can then click on to add source, and I can go to browser, and I will call this stream starting soon overlay. And then it will say, what's the link? So the link that you've just copied from StreamElements, you can add in there, and you can change this to the width of your screen, which we've just gone ahead and done there, and I can click on OK, and you can see now that has created that scene in your OBS. So when your stream starts, you have a stream starting soon page. And then if you wanted to add a music track to that, for example, if you had like any kind of music that you wanted to include, you can click on add source again, media, and then you can say intro music, click on OK, and then you'd look for the file. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to say we will take a file, and then we will click on the loop button. So when it gets to the end of the track, you want it to obviously start playing again, and I'm going to click on OK. And now you can see that you have your starting soon with your countdown, and you have your intro music playing as well. Now, over on the audio options, while ever the speaker is highlighted, it will play on your stream. If you click mute, it will mute it and nobody can hear it. But if you want to see how it sounds on your stream, you can press the headphone button, and then all of a sudden you can then hear the audio is going through to your headset. So you can hear exactly how it sounds, and then you can mute it again. And it's the same with the mic. So I've just put that mic sound now into my headset, so I can hear the voice volume and I can make sure that it's all okay. So that's how you're going to set up your stream starting soon option. And then you can see again here now we've gone back into our normal scene. And then what I will then go ahead and do is I will then go ahead now and show you again, the ending, which is this one here. We can click on edit on that, and we can make any changes that we want to change on there. And if you don't want to make any changes, that's absolutely fine. So you'll copy that, you'll go into here and say stream ending, click on OK, add your source, browser, stream ending, source, add your link into there. Oops. Add that into there. So we've now got the stream ending on there. And again, if you want to then add your audio, you can do. You can add existing. So if you want to add the same audio as what you've got on your stream starting, you can click that, and you can see now that that's playing there in the background. Okay. And then once you've done that, you're then going to go back to your StreamElements again. And it's best that you take your time on this, because you've got to think, if you're spending, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a week streaming, you want to make sure that it's all set up and it's hassle-free and you don't have to stress about anything or worry about anything. So what we're going to do next is we're going to edit this just chatting screen. So on here, this is where you can see again, you've got the exact same kind of layout as what we've had previously. But this time you've got stuff like an alert box in there. So I can emulate, for example, what's it going to look like if someone was to subscribe to me. And you can see there it comes up that, and that's exactly what would appear in your channel when someone subscribed. What's it going to look like if someone sent us a tip, and it will then put the alert up. Someone's donated you money and that kind of thing. Okay, and you can move this box, so you can move this wherever you want it. I always like to try and have it as near to the top as possible, just because it just makes life easier. And again, if you don't want the tip goal section, then you can get rid of that, and you can make all of these changes. And then when you're ready, you would simply press the copy overlay URL button, and you can then go and create your scene then in OBS. And you can see on OBS the tips and the subscriptions that we've just emulated in the system come through on your activity feed. So I'm going to add an extra scene on here, and I'm going to turn around and say just talking, and then we're going to add our source, browser, just talking overlay, and again get it to the right size of what your screen is, and we'll click on OK on there. We'll go and add the link. There we go. So you can see now in there you have a black box and all of the alerts. And again, if I emulate it now, you'll be able to see that in my actual emulating that alert on there just nicely. All right. Okay, so what you want to do then is, because you're just talking at this point, you then might want to turn around and say, right, well, I want to add my webcam. So in here you want to add another source, and you want to go for video capture device. Okay. And you want to create a new, so you're going to call this webcam, and you're going to click on OK, and you'll then see it's then asking, well, what camera is it that you're using? Now, because I'm using my camera right now, you won't be able to see it, but this is where you will go to add your webcam, and then what that will do is that will then create you this big webcam box that you can then adjust the size of accordingly, so that you can then obviously get it to fit inside of the black box. And again, like I say, because I'm streaming, because I'm recording this right now, I'm using the webcam, you can't necessarily see the webcam on there, but so for argument's sake, I'll add the capture card that I've got on there, and you can see there it's added a big red box, and I can simply drag and drop this and make it whatever size I want so that it appears inside the just talking window, and it just means then people aren't looking at a load of dead space, they're actually looking at your webcam. What you also want to do is, though, because you actually want people to hear your voice on this particular scene, you also need to add an audio capture input capture, which is your microphone. So you'll again click on existing, click on the microphone that you've already set up, and click on OK, and that is then picking up any audio that is spoken through my microphone into the stream, so you can use it there straight away. So far we've got our stream starting soon, we've got our stream ending scene, and we've got our just talking scene. The only one that's left now is our game capture, and our game capture one is probably the most important one out of them all. And I have to say, this is the one that I tend to think people make the biggest mistakes on overall, because they will cram so much information onto their scene that it just becomes cluttered. So if you're watching it on a mobile phone and you've got, you know, a YouTube chat down here, you've got a donation box on there, you've got a like and follow account, there's so much going on, it just becomes a mess, and it's, you know, you might not necessarily want to look at all of that information. So, you know, what I try and say to people is, like, less is more at this point, and it really is. So you can see here I've got my in-game scene, and I'm going to go on edit on this, and you can see here there is all kinds of different bits that are going on in this particular scene. So you've got your alert box, which again we're going to move up to the top over there. We've got our tip goal, which again, like I say, I'm just going to remove that. There's no need for that. This one, we can get rid of that one. The follow for stream updates, you know, you can keep that if you really want to. But I would be tempted to remove that as well. And then down here we've got a couple of extra boxes for the webcam, which you'll be able to see in the next part. So we're going to turn around and say, all right, yeah, we're happy with that. So we're going to take that overlay and we're going to go to our scene that we created earlier, and we are going to go to browser, and we're going to call this playing game scene. We're going to change that URL, and we're going to resize it. And then you can see that that has put that over the top of my other screen. So if I minimize that, you can then see now I've got my little webcam window down here. I've got my follow for the stream updates and the recent updates and everything on there. And you can also see the recent subscribers and everything on there. So what you then want to go and do when you're on this now, you then want to go and add your webcam. So we're going to go and say that we want to add a video capture device. We want to add the existing webcam that we've already got. And again, we're just going to use my capture card for now. And you're going to resize this so that sits nicely in your box down here. And again, you can move your box on the StreamElements editor if you so wish. And you can then see as well that we've now got our recent subscriber, recent sponsor. And again, if I was to now replay any of these activities, that will then appear on here. So that is your in-game one. So there's only one thing really left that we want to do at this point. And we want to change this screen capture to capture, if you're sim racing, for example, or playing games or anything like that, and you want it to capture like a full screen application, we want to change this so that we don't just capture the monitor, we actually capture what the full screen game. So we're going to remove that screen capture now at this point, and we're going to go to add source, and we are going to go on game capture. And then on there, you are simply going to turn around and say, this is my PC game capture. And we're going to click on OK. And we're going to select capture any full screen application, because any game that you open should be full screen at this point. And we also want to capture the audio of that full screen application. You can see here I've now got a game capture option in my OBS window. And we're going to basically leave everything else as it is. So we're going to click on OK. And then what I'm going to do is I'm then going to open up a game. And we are going to see that game appear in this screen capture here. So we'll give it a moment to load up. So our game is now opened, but you can see it appears now over the top of everything that I've just created. So all you need to do is just drag your PC game capture down below everything else, and then you can see now that actually everything that I wanted is appearing inside the LMU game. Obviously, as well for this one, we want to make sure that our microphone is enabled as well. So we will enable our microphone on there, and then you can then see now that we have our microphone input as well, so that it's hearing what I'm saying. And then what you'll see then is, as I clicked on the button through the UI, you see the PC game capture audio decided to go, like, so you can see as I'm selecting through, so it's also picking up the PC game audio as well. And this is the part where you'll need to tinker it when you're live, because you'll find that your audio levels might not exactly be, you know, exactly how you want them to be. So you'll be able to do some tinkering of that while you're playing the game that you're playing. And every game is pretty much different, to be honest. There's not a right or wrong with this. It's really down to your preference and what you feel like is better for yourself. But I would spend some time on, you know, perfecting that, changing that, just so that you can get all of your levels sounding absolutely fine while you're capturing any kind of game mode or anything like that. So now we've got our stream starting soon, our stream ending, our just talking, and our scene. Now, for most people, at this point of the video, you're going to be like, okay, that's fine, I can go ahead and do that. In some cases, you may want to add a third-party audio source. So what I mean by that is, say for example, you have a Discord audio chat that you want to add to your stream. Well, you can do that. So in our Discord community, we do have in our Discord community channels where we do have audio. For example, because we do league racing, a part of that is we have to have an audio channel open for all of the drivers to be in, and sometimes I like to put that onto a live stream. Likewise, if I'm doing any kind of endurance event or anything like that, again, I like to have that on there. So we do have an audio channel in our Discord. So for this to work, what you can do is you can click onto the source icon again, and you can click on Application Audio Capture, which is currently in beta, but it does work. And you can call this, for example, Discord Audio. And then it will turn around to you and say, okay, so what window is this in? So I've currently got the Discord audio open in the background, and I can click on LMView Voice Chat, Apex and Chill Racing League Discord. And that will then add another source onto your list of sources here, and it will also add a Discord audio source. Now, there is nobody on our Discord audio at the moment, so this is why you cannot see that volume bar going up and down. But if there was, that gives you an extra audio source, and you can see that all it's taken us is 30 seconds to add that functionality in there. So in this video, we've gone through how to create, how to download OBS, how to download the StreamElements application into OBS, and give you a fully fledged OBS system where you can start streaming straight away. You can start streaming on multiple streaming platforms straight away, and it's took, you know, probably no more than 30 minutes of your time. So yeah, that's it. What I will do is, in the description, I will leave the links to OBS, the links to StreamElements in there for you. I will also create you a little walkthrough guide of how you do it in text format as well, so you can then just follow that at your own pace. And please do leave any comments down below in the comments section if you feel like there is anything else that you need to see, if there is any other functionality in OBS that you would like to see. But for the main part, this is enough to get you streaming and to actually have engagement with your audience as well, because if they can hear your Discord audio, they can see visually yourself and they can see what's happening with subscribers. It just helps people subscribing to the channel. Which then brings me on to our channel. If you have liked this video today, if you found it helpful, if you found it useful, please do leave a like rating on the video. Please do subscribe to our channel. We are a sim racing community, and we do a lot of GT7 and LMU live streams. So if you're not already subscribed to our channel, please do make sure that you are subscribed so that you can get alerted when we do go live in the future. And yeah, you know, we will be doing some more how-to guides moving forward, to make sure that everybody does have that knowledge and know how to do things easily, but to also get the best out of the tools that you're using. So that's it for today. Like I say, if you have liked this video, please do leave us a like rating. But until next time, I will catch you later. Thank you very much.